Yo, what's going on? And welcome back to Wall Street Ben Black Playbook. Oh my gosh, it's been a minute. I know you all. I know. But I'm here and let's just get to it. Let's get to it. Let me show you all what it is that I am looking at for this upcoming week. Now, first thing first, that I am checking out is going to be Amazon. There's a lot of really good setups on the market this week, to be totally honest. But the first thing that I'm looking at is Amazon. So the levels that I want you all to pay attention to is, let me delete all of them, is the red, which is my supply zone, green demand zone, and then the yellow ones, which is where I've marked key retracement levels. All right, so these extra ones in here, these are levels that I'm looking at to trade on an intraday level, like for a day trade, a short trade. All right, so the first thing that I note is that we broke out of this symmetrical triangle because we are making these lower highs but higher lows. It did break out of this symmetrical triangle to the downside, and when I pull up my moving average, as well as broke this level that I have in here at 97.85 in here, broke that. It did pull back up, retested that, and then we got back down twice, right? So when I pull up my moving averages, and I have the moving average ribbon up, so I'll explain through them. The blue one that you see here is my 50. This is my 50. Now, if the stock is trading below this 50 in here, when I'm on my daily, the first thing that I'm going to think about is going to be whether or not QQQ, which is going to be the correlating ETF for tech stocks, right? I'm going to see is QQQ also trading under the 50 as well, because then that way I know that this sector is moving in congruence with each other. So let's go check out QQQ on the daily. And remember, QQQ is my 50. QQQ is currently trading, or the 50 is blue. I mean, right now we see that QQQ is currently trading above my 50, and this red is my 200. It just barely hanging on to this 200. We did get this, came down here and it wicked off of this, right? So we need to make sure that QQQ loses 290, that it loses this 290, it loses this 200 moving average and comes back down here towards my 50 in order for me to believe in Amazon as a swing trade to the downside. In order for me to believe that I'd be able to swing this back down, yeah, I'm gonna need that. 'Cause then on this way back down, there's two gaps to fill. We have two gaps that have not been filled if Amazon loses this 92.32. Now, when I come to my 15-minute time frame, and I just am taking note of Friday's range. I see in here that this 93.82, although our high of Friday was 94.11, I do see some when I pulled up the Fibonacci retracement, that this matched up in here with the 0.382. Now, to make it even safer, you could just wait until it did cross above this 0.5 at this 94.28. But I'll be looking to enter above this 93.82 with my first target being 94.28. If we hold that, then I'll continue on up to the 95.40 to the 0.786. Fairly simple trade to the upside. Like Amazon has like a really, really good setup in here to the for an upside movement. And as well, I'm looking at it for, like I said, if we do lose this 92.32 with this first level of support down here at this 91.52, and then the 91, and if we lose that, there is this gap fill from 91 down here to 90 that needs to be filled, and then another gap from the 87 down to 86. So I'm very curious. I'm very curious about what we'll do, but it's a good setup and it's a great setup in both directions. But according to this 50, but like I said, I'm gonna need QQQ to lose that 200 moving average price in order for me to believe that I'm gonna be able to swing Amazon down here, back down here. So we have the 50, and then this is my 100, the purple, and here at this 97.85. I'm watching. Let's see where my 10 is, because I don't have the 10 pulled up on the ribbon. Well, this is showing my 9, but same thing, which we lost this 9. I have a bias, you all. I have a bias, but we'll see what this setup ends up giving us. All right, now the next thing that is on my list is going to be SPY. SPY looks real good to the upside, y'all. Oh my gosh. Well, not to the upside, but SPY, I apologize. SPY just has a super good setup in here. So let me come down here to my lower time frame and delete some of these levels because these are intraday levels that I was in there trading. Intraday levels that I was respecting. And then I'll put this there and somewhere in there. And then let's check this out. Let's go back to the daily now that we have some less confusion on here and check this out. All right. First thing that I want y'all to note is that I do have my primary trend is marked off in white, and then my secondary trend is here in blue. So the secondary trend is going to be the corrective move of whatever the primary trend is. We've been in this primary trend on SPY since December 2021, right? So we did have this breakout in January where we broke above this resistance level. But when we break out of structure, like it's going to end up losing its momentum. It'll consolidate. And this was a very, very key level in here around this 415, where we see it was previously holding it as demand until we lost it, and it's held it as a resistance, as a supply zone since about late April, early May. So it's very key. So we came up here and then it consolidated, and we see that this base, it broke, and so we know this ended up being a distribution phase. Did break in here. We see that cross came right there, and we came down. Came back down to retest this broken trend line, the primary trend line. So after this move in here, where we see this consolidation that it broke out of, I actually had my trend line, my secondary trend line moved here because I just needed to know when it was going to break out of this move. So this was since January, right? This was that run up in October. It pulled back, consolidated in here and in there. So I needed to know when we broke outside of there, which was on this day when we also got that bearish cross on the MACD. It broke out of this range and it continued down, right? So now that it's come back down here and we've made a new low, now I can connect now I see I can connect these lows. 1, 2, let's get it in there, right? You see it in here. So that, y'all, that's powerful. This is powerful right here. This is extraordinarily powerful that it is right here on my secondary trend line on its way to my primary, and this key retracement level that I have in here at this 391. I am loving this setup, and SPY is probably my main stock watch of this week. This is more than likely my main watch of this week. So now let's turn our moving averages on. And look at this range that we're in right here. So again, the red is my 200 and the blue is my 50. It's right in here in this range. This 200 is right below the secondary trend line, with the 50 being right above the high of it. So I am watching SPY to either break this 393.12 or to break above this when we have, or to break above this 50 at 396.86. And we can just really round that and say 397, right? Give it a whole number. So for it to either break below 393.12 or above this 393.86. And ooh-wee. And that's when we're really gonna know. We'll really be able to know, okay, are we on our way back up here to this supply zone? Or are we gonna break out and then we're on our way back down here towards this demand zone, towards this 370? So now let's come down to a smaller time frame and look for an entry. So because that's what I'm looking at for as far as the swing trade setup, right? So now let's come down here on our smaller time frame and look at an entry for day trades. So let's see. If I was to mark off my minor trends, right? And some people will think that it's like overload to do all of this, but not me. Not me. It gives you so much congruence. So we see that we see that. I think this is where I would want to, because this is Friday. Or actually, I'll just mark Friday off because, that is making these higher highs and lows. Oh, we'll do that actually. Let's see what this looks like on the 5. Look at that. This is beautiful. And look, this pullback in here was nothing compared to the momentum of this push up, weak pullback, strong push up, consolidated. Got this large lower wick in here with a volume spike. Yeah, I'll be looking for SPY above 397.30 to enter to the upside. Or I would honestly want it to break outside of, remember the blue is my secondary. I would want it outside of this 394 down here to about 392.25. And then if we were able to break that down here to this 391.42, that looks like a good setup. Let's check out. Phew, this candle hitting everything, ain't it? So this is my 50, 20, 100. Say Skaska. That's too much for me on the, let me go down to the 15 or go up to the 15. That was too much noise for me in there. So again, this is my 20, and then we have the 50 above there, which, yeah, that's lining up. We break this 50, about 397, 398.38, and it should be a smooth ride. Well, not as smooth as the market can give us, right? Here towards this 401.81. I'll be looking to take profit more around here at 401. Yeah, I'm on SPY this week, y'all. I'm on SPY. All right, now, NVIDIA. Y'all knew I was going to bring NVIDIA to the table, right? So, on NVIDIA, baby, moving averages are useless to us at this current moment because it's trading way above all of its moving averages. Trading way above its. Oh my God, he sound like he about to break his neck in there. So NVIDIA was able to get this huge gap up based off of earnings in here. And this 230 was oh my gosh. And we're back. So this 230 level was a very key supply zone. Very key zone because this actually did double top when it came up here. We see that it double topped in here, but again, earnings was the catalyst to push it back here above it, and we see that we did hold this. So for me to go long on swings, I'm going to need to see it break above the high of this breakout, so above 239. Like this can hold this 239, and we have another gap fill from 239 up here to 241.88. And then we hold that up here to 250. Honestly, there's not much holding it as long as this can break the high of this breakout in here. So I'm watching for a close on the hourly, I would say. I need a candle that closes on the hourly above 238.88, and then a confirmation candle that is also closing above that as well. I'm gonna need a confirmation candle too. Because like I said, we got a gap fill there from up there to that 241. Should be beautiful up here towards this 250. That will be a beautiful swing trade. Now, let's come down here on a lower time frame. Like I said, moving averages on the daily don't really mean anything. It's not really meaning anything at this current moment. So if we do lose this 230, I will be looking to take it down here to this 226, which is also going to be right back here to my trend line as well, because I'm not ready to move that trend line yet. I am not quite ready to move that trend line yet. I could. So about right here, we have this low, and then here and here, which is telling us like it would need to go down there. But let's see if we lose this, 226 and it does lose this trend line and we get movement below here. So let's say that a candle was here. Hey, draw. Right, let's say we got a candle there. Then I would be looking to move my trend line, right? Because it's coming down here. But until then, I'm not quite ready. So let's come back down here to the hourly. So below this 230.10 is gonna down here to this 226.38, around in here. So now this is where I am gonna pull up those Fibonacci levels just so I can come in and check that. So yeah, so about 226. Let's see. I'm gonna look at the fib levels. About 227.13 is, and it has this at 229.37. About 227.13. I see it so clearly. And then we want to make sure that it holds. Well, not holds, right? Well, I would like to see it bounce in here around this 223.95 at the 0.786. I would like to see it bounce and maybe come back, pull back up towards this 230 and then reject, like if it was going to be a downside movement, or pull back and gain the 230 again and go that way, right? So this very, very clear and easy setup in here for NVIDIA. Like I said, I don't think that my moving averages are, they're just not helpful. NVIDIA is so above that. Now we do need to watch this because this is my 200 or 100 is the purple, the 200 is the red. We do see that the shorter term moving average, the 100 is getting, is crossing it, crossed up above there. It's a few cents above there, right? And that's a bullish cross right there. And then let's mark this off for my minor trend, the support. So we lose this, which is also going to lose the 20. So lose 230, 230. We can expect movement down here to the 229.33. And then the next target being 227.11. All right, now let's look at Meta. So on Meta, again, lots of lines. Let's clear this up some in here. I'll leave that about in here. Yeah. Well, like in here, we are having these lower highs, higher lows, right? So it is this 169. This is a this is a key number for it. Are we gonna lose this 169? And I'll even just put it down here at the we can say about 167, right? To get it underneath there. Let's get some congruence going across. And we can see it in there. We see the support down there. So like under this 167.50, this is going to be a very good swing trade down here to 153 because look across right here. This is a gap that hasn't been filled from this 163 down here to the 161.50. And then if it does lose this 161.50, there's not much stopping it. That's going to get it back down here towards this 154. So I'm watching that, or if we do get a break outside of so this is marked off as my primary, right? So if we do get a break outside of this primary, this resistance trend line around this 174.38, I would be looking to this 180 and on back up. Now it did close below this 20, right? So again, this 172.80, but it'd be more about like 174, 173.72, and they're about 174 even, that I would want it to break above there for me to believe that it's gonna continue on up towards this 180 level. I would need to see it break in there. But like I said, we see that it did close below this 20 and it's sitting right in here on this 167. So I'm watching that range from this 173 to from 167 to this 173 for a break on either side of that. And then last we have AMD. Y'all know me. Now AMD, I bet I have just charted the mess out of this one. I'm learning its personality. This is something that I've just recently added to my watch list to watch consistently. So like, yeah, I'm definitely in the process of learning its personality. And I can't stunt. Can't even stunt. I do enjoy trading NVIDIA. I do, I mean, not, oof. Look at me cheating on NVIDIA. I done called AMD NVIDIA. But I do enjoy trading AMD. It does give clear setups. It does give clear setups. And we can just see it even in here from all of the stoppage and where it's consolidating at and everything, where we would want to enter in. Very clear levels. Very, very, very clear levels. So for AMD, I would be looking for, so we see that this pulled back, and then we got this, subjectively, I'd call this a bullish engulfing right there, right? We do have like this pullback came to get. So I would want to wait until a break outside of the 78.84. That's me personally. Just let's go ahead and break above the high of Friday. But I believe that the retracements levels will probably have it here about 78.50. Let's check it out. And then let's also mark this minor trend. Mm, 78.65. Yeah. Like I said, I do see that, but I think I would rather wait, me personally, till about around in here. 78.71, splitting hairs up from 78.71 to 78.65, definitely splitting hairs. But if we do break this minor trend down here to the 76.94, which I'll make that adjustment to here. Back down here and then break that down to the 76. All right, y'all. Happy trading. I hope y'all have a great week. I know you can do this. Okay, we have a lot of clear setups on the market this week. Trade with your risk management. Do not trade against the trend. And listen, losses happen. Just get up and do it again, okay? Have a great week. Bye, y'all.